Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. Today we're going to be reacting to some potential trade candidates for the Knicks, and I just want to make it abundantly clear, so I better not see any comments saying that, oh, the Knicks shouldn't make any trades right now. We've won 9 games in a row. I don't want the Knicks to make any trades right now. I just want to make more content for you guys, not just talk about the win or the loss after the game. I want to get a little bit more creative, so I've got some trade candidates that the Knicks could actually trade for. So I'm not talking about like Clint Capella, for example. We've got some guys that would work, that would be fits as well for the Knicks. So let's just get right into it, man. We've got OKC tomorrow night. But until then, let's talk about these players. So I think the most realistic trade candidate for the Knicks is still Nick Richards. I know I've mentioned a lot about him. He just rebounds, defends the rim. He's efficient. He's not as good as Mitchell Robinson, but he's around the same price. He's been more durable as well, so I could see the Knicks getting him. I know the Knicks have been linked to him for a while now. Once Mitch comes back, it will be easier to make a trade for him just because teams haven't seen him play the entire year, and it's a risk of him coming off an injury. I don't think Nick Richards will end up being a Knick, just because if you think about it, why would you trade for Nick Richards when Mitch is coming back at the end of the month? Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I still would like Richards, and I've wanted him since the offseason. Another name we could talk about would be Harrison Barnes. I've watched a lot of Kings games, or he's actually on the Spurs now, but going back to when he was with the Kings and was a part of their playoff rotation, Barnes, he's just a 3-and-D type of guy. He would take a lot of pressure off of Josh Hart, who's being asked to do a ton for us right now. I get no Brunson and Deuce, but Hart last night played 45 minutes. McHale played 44. OG played 41. So bringing in Harrison Barnes would take a lot of pressure off of those guys because he's on the wing. In terms of Barnes's numbers, I don't know. Actually, I only watch the Knicks. I only have time to watch. Watching the Knicks in itself is basically a part-time job, yet alone every single team. But Barnes on the season is shooting 42.5% from three, 11 points, guys, 48 from the field. Defensively, very, very solid player as well. How old is he? He's definitely on the veteran side. Harrison Barnes is, I don't know, where's his age? I'm just going to type in Harrison Barnes' age. He is 32. He'll be 33 in May. So, yeah, he's coming up on being 33 years old. But this, to me, just makes a ton of sense because Tibbs is only going to play probably 8 guys in the playoffs, maybe 9, 10's pushing it. So I would say McHale, OG, Cat, Hart, Brunson, or Locks. That's 5. Precious, I would say. Precious would have to be in this trade, though. See, if we get anybody that's decent or good, we're going to have to give up Mitch and Precious. There are some scenarios where the Knicks can give up, like 3, like, guys that are making nothing, but realistically, we're trading Precious and Mitch to get Harrison Barnes. That's a lot of value because if you think about it, the Knicks, if they're going to make a trade, you don't want to just bring in somebody but get worse all around. That's why I love the McHale trade of giving up just picks, not giving up McBride. Going and getting Cat, okay, the Knicks gave up Randall and Devo, but they're not as good as Cat. So that made sense. OG, we got OG. We gave up RJ and Quickly. Quickly was about to get paid, restricted free agency, and RJ just wasn't getting it done regardless. So going and getting Harrison Barnes, to me, like, imagine if we just added this in Harrison, like if we added in Harrison Barnes for like a first-round pick. All of a sudden, we're talking about the Knicks being a significantly better basketball team. But that's not the case. Like Precious, you could argue that Precious is just as valuable as Harrison Barnes, and then we're giving up Mitch. Now, if you were to tell me, like, if Crystal Ball, Mitch gets hurt again, then I'd be like, Precious for Barnes, Harrison Barnes is a wing, take some pressure off OG, McHale, and Hart. I would do that, but you can't tell me that. For all we know, Mitch could play the best ball of his career and seriously help win the Knicks a championship. So I think it's just too risky. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Knicks are winning right now. Precious has been a huge reason to that. I would sort of just gamble on Mitch coming back and getting hurt or helping us win a championship. I don't think there's any in between. Mitch is either going to get injured, be out of the rotation, or he's legitimately going to be balling. So I wouldn't mess with that. Some names that the Knicks could add: Xavier Tillman, Chris Duarte, Torrey Craig, Jonas Valanciunas, Day'Ron Sharp. All those guys. Well, Jonas is making a decent amount of money, but the rest of the guys I just named, like Tillman, Sharp, Duarte, they're not making too much money in Craig. The Knicks could bring them in, and they could be a part of the rotation. But back to how many guys we know are going to be a lock in the rotation, assuming they're healthy. The starting lineup is 5. Precious is 6. And then after that, it gets very dicey. Mitch is 7. Campaign. I don't think Campaign's necessarily a lock, if I'm being honest. He's not a lock, but I think he will be, which is what, 8? and then Deuce McBride is 9. So that's probably like, yeah, honestly, I don't think campaign is not a lock. Because it's just honestly, Miles McBride probably is going to be the only guard off of the bench that's a lock. I think Tibbs with the playoffs on the line just doesn't play campaign because campaign played 36 minutes because of injuries. But when we've been fully healthy, let's just go look. So like Orlando game, well, what was a close game? Spurs game. A campaign, yeah, I think campaign got hurt in that, didn't he? I don't know. Let's just pull up another game. What about let's go Orlando, which was December 15th. So campaign played in 10 minutes. Miles McBride played in 21. So why not just eliminate campaign's minutes? Brunson played 38. Okay, now Brunson's in the low 40s. Miles McBride pushed that up to, I don't know, like 25, 26. So I don't even think campaign's going to play in the playoffs. So the Knicks going out and getting a guy, there's not even any room. Like the Knicks can't just add in. Like Harrison Barnes obviously would play, but you have to give up guys. So this is why I don't think the Knicks should make a trade. But if I do see anything like news or just other Knicks channels kind of talking about it, I'll make a video and give my thoughts. But yeah, overall, this is exactly why the Knicks are in a great spot. They've won 9 in a row, getting Mitch back. The rotation's essentially set. What it comes down to is just defensively, can the Knicks continue to get better? The reason why they're so hot right now, yeah, sure, they've beaten up on some bad teams, but the defense has started to absolutely lock in. And that's why I'm so excited about this Knicks team. Jalen Brunson's going to be very well rested. He didn't play against the Jazz. He will definitely play against the Thunder. I don't see Brunson sitting against one of the best teams in the league on the road. He's going to go out there and try to help his team win. But Josh Hart is so funny, man. Hart, if you guys saw what he said after the game, he was like, hopefully these guys can get tougher and be out there next time. And Hart also talking about, you guys were crying about our struggles early on. Now we're balling, we're hooping. Josh Hart, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the best trade in Knicks history was getting Josh Hart. I mean, what was it? It was Cam Reddish and a first-round pick that ended up being a role player who I don't even know his name. You guys always have to remind me of the guy's name. Now, in my defense, I only watch the Knicks, so I don't know much about other teams. But if I don't even know who the guy is, I think we can all agree that the Knicks won that trade. I mean, Josh Hart, man, I mean, when you talk about my favorite player on the Knicks, Jalen Brunson is going to be the first one that comes to my mind. Josh Hart is right there, though, man. Dante DiVincenzo was kind of like becoming my favorite player, which is kind of crazy, the big ragu. Unfortunately, in order for the Knicks to get him, the T-Wolves would have to trade him, and then the Knicks would have to go and trade for him again because, we're the last team to have traded him, so that's not going to work as well, and the money kind of would be tough too. But, I mean, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley actually was my favorite player, and then we traded him for OG, which worked out. But, I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about of all time just on the team right now, but having homegrown players definitely means a lot. The Knicks don't have very many. They got Sims, and they've got Mitch, and Kolek, and Dadier, and Hukporti, and McCullers, and these guys. But I would like to keep Mitch because if the Knicks win the championship this season, just having Mitch out there would mean a lot. So, yeah, I'm out, guys. Peace.